Hey, all you true sons and daughters, it's John Miller with the Locked On Mizzou podcast with a little bonus content for you, ad-free content for you here, exclusive to YouTube. Going to just break down every play here, well, most of the plays anyway, of the Missouri-Louisiana Tech ball game from my perspective in my seats. Yes, got out the old iPhone, did some coach's cam here. That stuff's hard to come by, so I like to do that for all of you and mostly myself, let's be real. So without further ado, by the way, you can see me 5 days a week on YouTube and wherever you get audio podcasts as well. Just go to lockedonmizzou.com. But without further ado, let's get to the Missouri-Louisiana Tech film study. Well, first snap of the game here. What's this defense going to look like? As we see here, Jalen Carlisle at the snap drops into the middle of the field. Joseph Charleston kind of sits down. Looks like a pretty basic cover 3 zone concept there, so let's go on to the next snap. Good defense, 2nd and 10, incomplete. Run play, stuffed. Similar look, Carlisle's middle of the field, Charleston playing close to the line of scrimmage, as is everyone else. Martez Manuel, as you might expect, it looks like there. Yeah, so far here on the first drive, it's really looked like the same basic defense, just Jalen Carlisle chilling in the middle of the field. Just looks like a pretty basic cover 3 type concept here, as best I can tell. So far, Missouri playing good defense, obviously, here. Bringing up a 3rd down and 3. Now Charleston here in the middle of the field. Carlisle's playing the slot. Manuel also playing the other slot here. Carlisle's kind of getting close here. It's 3rd and 3. Now he completes the pass here. What I like about this defensive concept, obviously, 3rd down and 3, Louisiana Tech spreads Missouri out. But there's no obvious receiver here. There's no uncovered receiver here, despite there being 4 wide. Obviously, Carlisle comes down here, cover this guy in the slot on the Louisiana Tech on their right side. Missouri's left side, obviously. Right side, Manuel, same thing, covering somebody in the slot. But Charleston also hovering around the middle of the field, kind of take away that slant route. But, hey, give Louisiana Tech a little credit here. Nice little pass for a 1st down and catch. Good contested catch. Not a bad contest there by Rakestraw. No big deal. There's something that's kind of interesting on this snap. Of course, I've mentioned how Carlisle has been obviously in the middle of the field most of this drive here. In fact, about 100% of it until that last 3rd down snap. Well, from the outside here, you can see Rakestraw's man, the Z receiver here on the right side, the left side of the defense here for Missouri. He goes in a jet sweep motion here. Just kind of interesting to see what Missouri does here. Well, here's the adjustment. Carlisle, normally in the middle of the field. Hey, I got to take this dude. He runs with him. And who drops back? Well, Rakestraw. He points. Notice the point here by Rakestraw. Good communication. Hey, these guys are on the same page here. I like to see that. And Rakestraw eventually gets him outside there, just holds him to a 5-yard gain on 2nd and 5. So decently successful defensive play there. But I just thought it was interesting to see how Missouri handled that. Basically, Rakestraw became the de facto safety here on this play. You can see him moving to the middle of the field like he's the cover 3 safety. Ball nearly batted away there. It looked like, I believe that's Jaden Jernigan. Almost knocked that ball down. Heck of a catch there by the running back. But anyway, let's move on to the next snap. Kind of a similar deal here. Once again, they put the X receiver in motion. Rakestraw, the de facto middle safety. Charleston matches up with that guy. Somebody got their hands on the ball here. Ball's picked off. Off to the races. Illegal blindside block, I believe. Whew, boy, he wiped him out, didn't he? Good Lord. Yeah, that's a block. Can see why that's that's definitely an illegal blindside block, folks. That's the definition. He about took out the referee, too. Now, the first snap here for Brady Cook, kind of interesting. Obviously, Lovett goes in motion here. He's obviously the first read. Cook fakes the handoff. Really, he should probably come off it right there. Look at where that guy is. I mean, he is sitting on the flat there, the outside defender here for Louisiana Tech. He's sitting hard on this, and you can also see in the upper part of the screen. Apologies for my poor photography here. I didn't pan over, but you can actually see on the top of the screen, not a lot of room there between the receiver and the defender, especially to get a 1-yard gain. But over here on the left side, you see number 1 here. Well, he's open. Throw him the ball. Of course, we never looked over there. That's the problem. But anyway, bit of a probably one Brady shouldn't have thrown, quite honestly. So not the best start, I suppose. And how about another sideways pass? It seems like Missouri has Louisiana Tech scrambling here, so Brady immediately throws that little sideways pass to Cody Schrader, who is promptly swallowed up. Like, that seemed like a good idea for a second, but then they start running dudes over there. It's like, okay, now they've got it covered, basically. You got 2 guys to block 3. We probably should have gotten out of that play, let's be real. Once, let's see. I hate to say it, but the white guy, I can't tell what his number is, number 14 or something like that. Once he's over there, now it's 3-on-2 in terms of blocking. I just got to get a better play than that. That's either Missouri's got to check out of that or Brady's got to check out of that. And, of course, this is going to be a 3-and-out for Missouri. And, well, again, doesn't really give Cook much of a choice here. Just like, hey, we're just going to throw another quick sideways screen and hope our guys can block it up. Well, they block it up pretty well. Unfortunately, it's 3rd and 16. Gains about 13 or 12 yards, but that ain't going to do it on this down, that's for sure. If anything, Louisiana Tech playing fairly close to the line of scrimmage. You could maybe throw it over the top to Dove there, number 1. I said number 1 earlier because I forgot Towski switched from 86 to 1. We need a little better block there on the outside, but give the Louisiana Tech guy credit for forcing him out of bounds. Now, this might be the only mistake Tyron Hopper made the entire game. Really, there's 2 unblocked defenders here. Hopper, one of them. Hey, let the defensive end there take the quarterback. You take the option guy, but they both just kind of take the quarterback. And, well, still, good play there on the outside. Carlisle's in pursuit. Maybe it wasn't a mistake. What am I talking about? Maybe that's what he was supposed to do. Good pursuit regardless. Carlisle's, boom, stuffs him short. Another 3rd and 3 here for the Bulldogs. What we got here? Little screen pass. Nope, just flushes, throws it, and whoa, nice catch. Well, clearly this play is designed to get Luther Burden a touchdown here on 3rd and 6. You can see Dominic Lovett running a streak here down the seam, occupies that safety, leaving Burden one-on-one, so decent matchup. Burden doesn't get a ton of separation. Really not much at all, but not a great throw here by Cook. He's got to throw this more to the outside, give him a chance to go up and get it. Throw that ball down the sidelines. Obviously, you don't want to throw it out of bounds, so he does technically give him a chance, but so far inside there, you see the positioning. Just no chance, really, for Burden to make a play. Ball nearly picked off there on the ricochet. One thing I've noticed here early about this Blake Baker defense, just by design, they're not going to give you anything easy in the passing game, just in terms of guys who are uncovered in the slot. There's nobody within 10 yards of them, that kind of deal. As you can see here, you've got 3 Missouri defenders on the left side of this defense. Louisiana Tech puts a player in motion, Tyron Hopper, starts to go with him, then sends the other linebacker with him, essentially, Chad Bailey. Basically, they just switch spots. Again, more good communication here on defense. Everybody's in position. And guess what? They snuff out that screen pass on 3rd and 12, despite all that motion. Part of that's good design. Part of it's good communication by the players. So really good signs here defensively early. Not doing too much, but also not giving the opposition anything. Kind of a similar outcome and criticism here on this ball to Luther Burden as well. Hey, love the decision, one-on-one on the outside. Give the guy a chance. I love it. Unfortunately, again, the ball is just thrown too far inside. Again, he's got a chance here. He gets more separation than the last time. You can see, 31's a little bit in trouble here. If he throws this ball to the outside, more to the sidelines, he's got a chance to come down with that thing. But the ball is not only too far inside, a little bit underthrown too. So again, good decision here by Brady. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever, but gotta throw a better ball here, in my opinion. That's really correctable though. That's, again, first quarter, first start of the season. That's not a terrible throw or a terrible decision or anything. It's not like he doesn't have the arm to complete that pass. Just a little nitpicky. You can tell Burden's a little bit disappointed up there on the Jumbotron. One thing I've noticed here early, it's just the end of the first quarter, but so far, Brady Cook has not really looked off of his first read yet. That's something I don't know that he's done it once so far in the first quarter here. Maybe that's by design by the Missouri coaching staff, but if you notice here, this play, 2nd down and 10, Cook looks to his left here, throws the ball to Towski Dove, who's pretty well covered on a slant and sort of stop type route there. You notice on the right side of the formation, number 7 there, Dominic Lovett, runs a similar route, but just kind of, notice he's not really acting like he's even in the play. His hands are not up. His body language is just kind of like, okay. A little bit of frustration there from Lovett, it seemed like. I didn't love his body language there, but I don't know, just something I noticed that so far, not a lot of looking away from that first read. And on that play in particular, hey, maybe just dump it off to the running back would have been better. Clearly, Lovett was a little bit more open. It's not as though Cook was under pressure here. Well, you know what? I'll take that back because the right tackle, Zeke Powell, that linebacker did kind of slip inside of him there. So, at the same time, let's see how about the rest of this game. Let's see if Cook does start to come off of that read a little bit more. So on this play, Dominic Lovett lines up in the backfield. He's the decoy, though. They're going to throw a little 10-yard deep out here to Barrett Bannister, who is wide open. That's an easy first down pitch and catch, but you know what? No need to come off the first read on this one, clearly, when you're that open. But you know what? I'll give Cook some credit, though. Good throw, and also does a nice job of buying himself just a little bit of time and a better throwing window. Just that little step up in the pocket there, sets his feet, good footwork, drives on the ball. Yep, that's his best throw of the day so far. I didn't even really remember this play going back and watching. At least I didn't remember it live at the time. This really shows Burden's athleticism here. Just a simple little 3-yard gain or something like that. See Burden over here kind of tight to the right side. This play's kind of blown. You notice Nathaniel Pete kind of trips over Brady Cook there. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the design of this was here in terms of what Pete was supposed to do. Was he supposed to go to the right side and fake a speed option or something? I think he probably was. I'm not sure, but whatever he was doing here, he's not supposed to try to trip his quarterback. I can promise you that. But watch Burden here. Not really much here. Number one, obviously 8 brings. Pete doesn't do a good job of taking somebody out of the play, so almost trips his man up. And Burden as well. Hey, let's try to trip him too. Doesn't actually trip him, though, thankfully. But obviously number 9's like, hey, I'm going to force him back inside. This guy should be able to tackle him right. Nope, don't think so. Sorry, 52. Yeah, this guy just never had a chance. Number 9 does a great job. Hey, I'll turn him back inside. It's a good thing he did because he probably scores, but still, it's going to take more than one guy to tackle him, that's for sure. Gets about 3 to 4 yards out of a play that probably should have lost a yard or two, so nice one-man effort there from Burden. This play here defensively is just a nice example of discipline. A lot of stuff going on here. Guy goes in motion. Comes back the other way. Oh, they're going to hand it to him. Oh, maybe there's going to be a reverse, but a lot happening there. But Martez Manuel, number 1, stays right in his lane, does exactly what he needs to do. Make sure he doesn't get caught inside. Forces the play out of bounds. Also on the backside here, you'll notice Chris Abrams-Drain all the way on the other side of the play. Look what he does. Because there is a possibility here. Hey, they're faking this reverse action to the other side. Abrams-Drain, look where he is. He's all the way on the other side of the screen, on your right side of your screen, just waiting for something to happen over there. He's not worried about trying to chase something down all the way from the opposite side of the field. Nope, he's going to stay in his lane. So smart defense there. Which leads to the next play for Missouri, the interception. Watch Christian Williams on the inside here. 92. Gets right through the A-gap here. 2 guys can't block him. Gets his hand on the pass. Interception. Let's see that once again. Watch the big boy work here. I think 72 didn't think he was going to have to help out so much. Should have gotten in there a little better, bud. Williams gets his big hand on the ball, and that is a problem for the Bulldogs. And he takes it to the house for a touchdown. Well played. Fun way to start your Missouri career if you're Joseph Charleston. Interesting defense from Missouri here on a 2nd and 10. Can't tell quite what kind of coverage this is, but it is some kind of hybrid man and zone concept. Maybe it's a match coverage of some sort. I'm only speculating there just because I know match coverages have become a popular tactic against this type of route here that we're about to see, a drag route concept, something that's a man beater and a zone beater sometimes. But you notice here on the right side of your screen, the right side of the Louisiana Tech offense, Chris Abrams-Drain here, as soon as his man here, number 3, all the way to the right side of the screen, as soon as he starts running this drag route across the formation, well, Drain makes a signal, and Jalen Carlisle takes him as if he's in a man defense. But clearly this is a zone concept, at least mostly, although, again, you can see a couple guys trailing a man here. So obviously, whatever it was, it worked. And again, what I really notice here is regardless of what coverage this actually is, I couldn't say for sure unless I was actually in the defensive room here with the Tigers, but you just notice good communication here once again. Clearly, that's a signal here, the arm wave here by Abrams-Drain. Hey, Carlisle, go get number 3. He's coming across on a drag. And guess what? Communication received. Excellent tackle by Carlisle, well short of the first down. Blake Baker's coverages seem to be, and just defensive calls in general, seem to be getting a little bit more complicated and exotic as the game went along here. And a great example here, Tyron Hopper comes down on the line of scrimmage looking like he's going to blitz, be part of this 5-man rush package here, but instead, no, the man who's covering the slot here, presumably, he blitzes, and Tyron Hopper hops back into the middle of the field. Now, of course, he's got a man over the top of him here, but Hopper making his way in the middle of the field, undercuts this route, catches the ball, and he's off to the races. And ignore my poor camera work here at the end, and actually just notice this crowd, by the way. You're telling me this is only 47,000 people? Was that the announced attendance? The Hill looks packed. The student section looks packed. I don't know. Seemed like a pretty darn good crowd regardless. Couple things here. It sure seems like Elijah Young is capable of making some big plays when you get the ball in that young man's hands. But you know what? Also, this is a great example of why having a quarterback can run is so incredibly helpful, because if Connor Bazelak's the quarterback there, or just any quarterback who is not a threat to run, this play doesn't work. Watch what happens here. Hut hike. And simply because Brady Cook they've already run him a couple times in this game already. Well, number 2, obviously he's unblocked. He's the guy who has the best chance to make the play here. If he knows that Young is getting the ball, well, at the very least, he can at least make him cut this thing back up the middle, and 52's probably got a good shot at a play. But instead, whoops, see you later. He bites too hard on the Brady Cook run. Missouri finally uses the jet sweep action. And by uses, I mean actually hands it to the guy, and very close to being a touchdown here. Just a little trip there at the end, and would have been even more yardage, that's for sure. But again, watch what happens. Number 2 bites real hard. Thinks, aha, I'm going to kill the quarterback. Oh, no, you're not. He doesn't have the ball. So, again, the threat to run helps out everybody else too. Noticing a couple patterns starting to develop here. This play, Brady Cook, pretty fortunate this ball is not intercepted. A tremendous play by Burden to really just out-physical the guy for the ball. Couldn't believe he actually caught that, turned a potential interception and at the very least what looked like a short gain into a catch and a first down. So excellent job by Burden on this play, clearly just using his spectacular athleticism there. But once again, Cook, where does he look at the snap of this ball? He looks left. Clearly he's looking at Burden the whole way. And not particularly open, is he? If this is the route here, a little 3-yard out, 5-yard out, whatever it is, probably 5 yards, I guess. Well, again, you got to throw this ball outside. I was saying earlier on those go routes, hey, you got to get it toward the sidelines. Well, this thing in particular, especially if the guy isn't that open, boy, you really got to throw this thing outside. It's got to be either your receiver's going to get it or you're throwing it out of bounds. Worst case scenario, this is exactly what you don't want to do. So extremely fortunate. That's the type of ball that can not only be intercepted, but easily go back the other way for a touchdown as well. So Cook really got away with one there. His teammate helped him out a lot. Well, obviously an impressive play here from Luther Burden, his touchdown. What more can you say? Missouri lines him up on the opposite side of the formation in the backfield, and they just throw it to him on the short side. Don't even give him the big side of the play to make something happen. But in a phone booth, this guy would be tough to catch, apparently. Let's just see it. I'd say that's 4 broken tackles. I heard some people said 3. I'm going with 4. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, what I like here on this play is Luther Burden, Brady Cook. You got the defense spread it out, shotgun formation. Literally all 11 men, quite practically, are on the line of scrimmage before the snap here. So let's be aggressive. Throw it downfield. It's exactly what Missouri does. A little bit better throw from Cook this time. Down the side here to Burden. Actually does give him some room down the sidelines there. Gives him a chance. Just a little bit overthrown. Still a better ball than the previous 2. But you know what? Something to work on there for sure is that connection between Cook and Burden down the sidelines there, because, if Missouri, if they can run the ball well, if they have that threat to run with the quarterback, other speed outside, seems like there's going to be a lot of single high safety. Got to be able to make them pay for that on occasion. So far, so good. 1 game in for Chris Abrams-Drain at his new position on the outside. Well, on this snap, you see Chris all the way over on the right side of your screen, isolated against number 3, for the Bulldogs, and apparently Matthew Downing likes this matchup for some reason. Let's see what happens. Well, Drain gets some contact on him in the allotted 5-yard area. Immediately gets his head around, jumps up, makes a play on the ball, gets his head on it, gets a pass breakup. Yeah, not really sure why they were throwing there, honestly. I wouldn't do that again. Boy, he was all over that. Great defense there by Chris. Missouri with precious little time here at the end of the half. Let's see what kind of play they run here. Looks like a triple outs type concept. Bannister runs an out. Dove runs an out. Middle section, and then Lovett over the top. You could call those possibly a slot type flag route if you would like, but basically 3 very similar routes, kind of all at different levels. It's become somewhat of a popular play here in the NFL the last few seasons. I know that. So Missouri running it here. And guess what? Still need a few more yards. Still got 12 seconds here. It's enough time to run another play. What do? Well, it's the exact same formation. And when you know it, it's the exact same route combination with the exact same 3 receivers. Once again, complete to Dove. Apparently they were in the same defense too. Missouri lines up, and naturally Harrison Mevis is money. So nice execution there at the end of the half. That was very strong, obviously, by Brady, Eli, and the whole offense. Another example of why having a quarterback can run makes your life a lot easier. This play would have been dead last year with anybody who can't move. Get some blitz pressure immediately to Brady's right side here. Schrader doesn't do the greatest job of pass pro I've ever seen. But Cook steps up, avoids the pressure, runs by it, in fact, runs past the defensive lineman. And not only was that not a dead play, Missouri gained about 5 yards on 2nd and 6, so setting up a fairly convertible 3rd and 1 that unfortunately Missouri did not convert. That's one thing here. The running game left a lot to be desired for sure. Well, not only is Barrett Bannister an excellent option on any type of 3rd and 6 situation, but they really seem to like to put him in motion too so often on these plays. Make sure he has a clean release off of the line of scrimmage, one has to assume, and also maybe give you a clue as to whether it's man or zone coverage. Right here, quite honestly, this is just too easy. It's 3rd and 6. You're just going to let Barrett Bannister run a little slant route under you. But, hey, they're going to give it to you. Go ahead and take it. You never get broke taking a profit, and Missouri gets a first down there. Nicely designed play here by Eli Drinkwitz. Really seems like about the only time we throw to the tight ends is a special trick play type situation. Didn't show it here on the film study, but on the receiver pass or in the first half, Kibet Chepyater was the intended target downfield. Well, another tight end here. You see 2 of them going in motion. And the inside tight end here, number 80, I believe, just kind of gets lost, forgotten about by everyone. And he's wide open, just going across the middle of the formation. Easy yardage there, easy throw, great play design. 3rd and 20 here, and I honestly don't know why every defensive coordinator doesn't do this. You see virtually every defensive back on the Missouri 2 deep here is out there. You've got Dalen Carnell, Martez Manuel, Rakestraw, Jelani Williams, Carlies. I believe that's Joseph Charleston maybe, or is that Dalen Carnell? Hard to tell by the numbers, but regardless, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, perhaps as many as 8 defensive backs in this formation. That's what you want to see. I think that's Hopper out there with 3 defensive linemen. So, yeah, just put your defensive backs out there on 3rd and 20. You can't worry about a draw play. I'm sorry, you just can't, not in that situation. So I like the game that Blake Baker called here the more I delve deeply into this defense. Folks, I know it seems like I'm being hard on Brady Cook possibly to some of you, but you know what? I love Brady Cook, but I'm a hard grader of quarterbacks. That's just what I am. And I think this is another example of him being a little bit too married to his first read. It does seem like Nathaniel Pete here. Again, Missouri shows that 2 tight ends going over in motion. Little shift deal there. Now Chep Yater going the other way. I think that's his first read, quite possibly. Missouri bailed out there. Nathaniel Pete gets a targeting call, but really, this wasn't a good decision. You look at 31 here. He's playing the flat. You can tell that now he pulls the trigger just a little early here. Let the play develop, because if you look at it, there's really no reason to take this early check down. Look at number 5 on the right side of your screen, Mookie Cooper. He runs wide open here, essentially. I mean, if you throw that ball in the middle of the field, it's a touchdown more than likely. Look how wide open he is. Now, granted, 7 here, the safety. He starts coming toward the ball here as Brady's pulling the trigger, but still, you can see that was open right here. That's the moment where you have to see, okay, the defender here is playing the flat. He's not going with Cooper. Now, if he goes with Cooper, then by all means, throw it to Nathaniel Pete there in the flat, and you've got easy yardage. But if he plays the flat, that's actually a really dangerous pass, as unfortunately Nathaniel Pete just found out as he got flattened there, put on his butt. But yeah, targeting penalty, so Missouri gets bailed out. But I would rather him see him hold on to that ball for just another tick, make sure that flat defender isn't there to flatten his teammate, number 1, and also just to see if, hey, that Mookie Cooper route down the seam can't develop, which it looks like it would have to me. Great mobility and improvisation here by Brady Cook. Unclear who the first read is supposed to be, but look how Brady makes this guy miss. Hello. Johnny Manziel adjacent there, a little Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, whoever your example is you like for the spin the opposite way and throw it back that direction. This linebacker's had some moments in this game where he thought, aha, I'm going to get a big hit, but no. Sorry, this is the SEC, pal. It's another level. Interesting play here. You got 3 bunched to one side of the field. Another receiver going over here. You got quads now to this side. Burden, mostly just a distraction here. The linebacker's like, hey, I'll pass him off and just play Burden. Well, unfortunately, it's 3-on-2, so somebody's open, and Brady wisely finds the right one. Here's the interception that off of Luther Burden's hand. Some people are saying that Brady Cook threw this ball too hard. I don't know. You be the judge. Is this ball rocketed at Burden? Steps up, trying to make stuff happen. That doesn't seem like that hard of a throw to me. I don't know. That's right in his hands. I said this on the podcast, but I think Luther Burden would tell you he should have had that one. He's had a lot harder ones off the Jugs machine than that. No big deal. Not trying to get mad at him or anything, but just trying to get to the truth. I don't think that one's on Brady Cook. Obviously, Brady Cook is going to show off his running ability here on this touchdown, but I also think he shows off his brain and quick decision-making too. You can see a blitz coming here from the left side. He avoids it, but what you can also see is it's clearly man coverage as well. So what he knows is if I can just step up a little bit, get past these blitzers, well, it's curtains because everybody's going to the right side basically. All of his receivers were going over there. He wisely realizes, hey, I'm going to the left. Let's do that. And let's go high-five some people in the front row. Go run by the Golden Girls. Let's not slip on the track. Touchdown, Missouri. Now, I've praised Missouri's communication so far defensively. Well, this was a blown coverage here on this long touchdown pass. You got 2 safeties deep, so you can't just allow number 85 here to just run right down the middle of the field past everyone. That's a serious problem. Well, as I pointed out earlier, the signaling, you see Joseph Charleston there signaling perhaps to Jelani. Jelani makes a signal as well. If Jelani makes a signal there, it seems like he's passing off that jet sweep guy, right? Charleston's like, okay, somebody else take the jet sweep guy. Jelani's like, yep, you take him. Well, if that's the case, doesn't Jelani have to get deep here and take number 85? I'm not exactly sure who was wrong here, but clearly something went wrong here defensively. You can't just let that happen. So an easy fix, but definitely a mess up there defensively. As the game keeps going on here, it sure seems like Brady Cook started to settle in here a little bit. And hey, guy's first start ever at Faurot Field. Guy wanted to be a Tiger forever. If he was a little nervous, could you blame him? I mean, my goodness, I think I would have been. In fact, I know I would have been for sure. But really seems like he's starting to settle in here in the passing game. Really nice pass here on this snap. But even more impressive, look at the defensive end, right side of our screen here, left side of the offensive line. Just kind of slips past the tackle a little bit, but Brady takes what could have been some pressure, just calmly steps up in the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, and finds the open receiver. Perfect throw. Really like this play here. Just subtle footwork, really nice. Just a simple step up. Gives him just enough time and a perfect window to throw that find that open receiver. This might have been the most impressive play, at least run by a Missouri running back here today. Nathaniel Pete cuts it back, goes the opposite way, burns this guy, breaks that tackle, gets a first down on 2nd and 9, 1st and goal for Missouri. Really nice burst there by Pete. And a good run, too. Just, okay, there's nothing there. Well, let's use my favorite phrase here. He puts his foot in the ground. I don't know where else he would put his foot, but he puts his foot in the ground, cuts back the other way against the design of the play. Brady Cook decides, we're up way too many points for me to be a lead blocker. Great run. That'll do it for this special film study edition of Locked On Mizzou. See you guys Tuesday after Labor Day. Your team every day.